As you can see, this app is making $300,000 a month, and today I'm going to show you how to recreate it with AI in just a couple of minutes. It's going to be a very easy video to follow, so let's get started. Alright, so first of all, we will need xcode, and this is where we actually write our code and send it to the App Store and everything. But obviously there's a catch here, we are not actually going to write the code ourselves, so that's why we will also need Cursor AI, which is the AI that will write the code for us. Now it does have a free plan, so basically you can just start with this one. Okay, and as you can see on the left side, I have xcode where I can go ahead and just write everything and it updates, as you can see. Let me write my name properly, there we go. And then on the right I have Cursor where we have the chat, and this is where we actually prompted, and then it will update the xcode code and we see everything. Okay, as simple as that. So let's go ahead and write a very cool prompt for our app. Okay, now in this case I want to make this kind of tune app that we're copying, so let's check it out again. And obviously we're going to be making the simple version just for the purpose of this video, but you basically upload a picture and then you can add things on top or make it cartoony or whatever. For this example, let's make kind of the AI cartoon generator where you upload a picture and then you generate the cartoon version of that picture. As simple as that, and obviously you can expand it as we go. So let's go back into xcode and Cursor and go up here into the chat and basically start typing. Okay, so let's start with basically saying make an AI cartoon generator app. So the user would be able to upload a picture and it would call a ChatGPT API call, make an cartoon version of that image, and then show it to the user. As simple as that. Now, with Cursor, there's one very important thing to do, and is to actually make the prompt as detailed and effective as possible. And for this, what we can add is literally the documentation of Apple themselves to have the best result. So to do this, what we have to do is go ahead and click this add context, go into docs, and then scroll down and create a new doc. And then we can basically paste in the URL of the Apple documentation. So to make your lives easier, what I've done is left a free Cursor AI prompt with everything that you will need on my free school community. So you just join and basically start to copy the Apple Swift, and let's go back to Cursor, paste it in, and then press enter, and then you will basically confirm and add this documentation into our prompt, and basically repeat the process for also the Swift UI and design tips. And once you do this, you can basically go back to docs and just add all of them. So in my case, it will be Apple Swift UI, Apple design tips, and then one last one, which is Apple Swift. So now Cursor knows everything about how it needs to design this. And with that said, with everything on default, just press enter and Cursor AI will start to actually type the code that we need to make our app. So now we basically just need to wait just a couple of minutes and we have the results. Alright, as you can see, Cursor finished typing our code. So now in Cursor, we actually have this preview updated where we can just select a photo from our gallery and it will create the cartoon version of it. So we have some default ones from Apple. Let's, for example, just choose, I don't know, this waterfall over here. And then we can click on generate cartoon, and then obviously we have an error. This is literally because we haven't added an API to the AI that we want to use to generate the cartoon version of this, right? We are not really doing anything yet. So that's why we need to now just add a ChatGPT API call so that we can get the cartoon image. So for this, basically just go into the OpenAI website, which is platform.openai.com, and then go to API keys and go and create a new key, and then basically just name it whatever, so cartoon video, and then on the project, select default project, permissions just in all, and then create the secret key. Okay, as simple as that. Then you have the new key generated, so you just copy this, go back into the xcode and Cursor, and on Cursor you say this is the ChatGPT API key, add it, paste it in, and press enter, and now ChatGPT will actually be used when we generate our image, which is very important. And the reason that I'm actually sharing the API key is that I will delete it right away in just a couple seconds after I post this video. So never share your API keys, because otherwise people could use them, right, to use their own stuff. Anyway, so now Cursor has actually added the API key, so I can select once again the actual picture, generate cartoon, and now you see that we will have no error because we are actually generating the cartoon image. Now this might just take a couple more seconds because obviously generating an image with AI takes a bit longer. Now obviously right off the bat I'm just using ChatGPT. Maybe it's more convenient to use another AI image model for this because it is quicker, cheaper, or whatever. In this case the easiest one is just ChatGPT. But there we go, so you can see it actually generated the cartoon version of the image that we added. Now there's two things to have in mind. As you can see, it isn't exactly the same. That's just because of the ChatGPT prompt in itself and the model that we're using. There's two ways to fix this. The first one is to basically just use another image generator model instead of OpenAI's ChatGPT because it's just better. That's something that you could do. And second thing that you could do is simply improve the prompting. So what I'm going to do is go over here into Cursor and say, perfect, it works, but the output is not exactly the same in terms of, composition, angle, etc. So in the API call, make sure that the composition and angle and etc. is identical. It's just like adding a cartoon effect on top. Okay, and now, when we actually call the ChatGPT API call, we will basically make sure that we are matching the original image, perspective and everything, so it's more exactly the same. Because now it just took like a reference photo and generated a cartoon photo based on that idea, but we are not like applying a filter on top of it, so this would literally improve it. Like I said, it's better if you actually use another model that's not ChatGPT for this, but for the simplicity of the video, let's use this. And that's literally how we can recreate an app with AI in just a couple of minutes. As you can see, it was very, very easy. And now the thing to do is just to continue prompting right here over at Cursor, adding all the features that you want, making it a bit more pretty and professional, adding an onboarding and all this stuff. So that's it guys, if you found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe. Enjoy my free school community, which is the best place to actually learn how to make AI apps. And now yes, with all said, bye bye.